Hey there, it's Carson from Wandering Villas. It's almost summertime here in Central Florida, so we're going to look at a tip today that can help you beat the heat. So one of the big challenges in the summer can be these skylights. If you have these in your RV, they're nice because they let in a lot of natural light. In the summer, it's a big challenge. With the sun directly overhead, it's just beating in here. It's warming up the space. It's fading out the upholstery and the carpet. So they do come with these shades, and that definitely helps. But what I've found is the sun still hitting this shade basically turns this shade into a little heater. You can stand under it and you can still feel the heat radiating through. So we're going to look at a solution to help block that sun out and help keep this space a lot cooler and more comfortable. So the product we're going to be looking at is called Reflectix. It's an insulating product. It's made here in the United States. It comes in rolls, and it's essentially bubble wrap with a mylar coating to help reflect any infrared radiation. So here's a close-up look at a sample. You can see the middle. There's 2 layers of bubble wrap. And then on the outside, there's a layer of this reflective metallic material. And what's cool about this is you can see it's very shiny. It's very reflective. It'll actually reflect 96+% of the infrared radiation that hits the surface. So what that means is if the sunlight is hitting this, 96% of the energy coming from the sun is going to be reflected right back out the hole it came in. Only less than 4% of it will actually penetrate through this to get inside to where we're interested. Now you can see the material is easy to work with, but it's also somewhat flimsy. That's good because you can get it around corners and whatnot. But it's not going to be very sturdy to actually prop itself up in the Skylight. So for that solution, we're just going to use some foam core that you can get at any arts and crafts store. And we're going to make a sandwich, basically. We're going to take the foam core, we're going to wrap it in a layer of this insulation, and then we're going to tape up the edges. So when we're done, we're actually going to have several layers. We're going to have an outer layer of the Reflectix, some foam insulation, and then an inner layer. So this should provide a pretty good radiant barrier to keep that heat out. And then the final thing we'll need, in addition to just some good scissors, is some of this metallicized tape. You can find it in the heating section of your local hardware store. You might be tempted to use duct tape. Duct tape is just not going to stand up very well under the beating of the heat and the radiation that it's going to receive. This stuff, very, very sticky, and it's made for the job. It can take the heat, and again, it'll reflect a lot of that heat and radiation. Pro tip, it is a paperback material, so let your fingernails grow out a couple days before you try to work with this stuff because it can be a little frustrating getting that edge started. So here's the finished product. Our panel, foam core in the middle, 2 layers of the reflective insulation, and then the edges are sealed with the aluminum tape. Now it's ready to be installed in the Skylight. Alright, so let's get some baseline temperatures in the Skylight. So here we can see the ceiling temperature is about 81 degrees, 81 degrees. And the Skylight is reading in at 124. So we can see that that's about in the ballpark of a 45 degree temperature difference. So essentially that ceiling light is just a little heating unit when we're trying to keep things cool. Install our insulating panel. One little pro tip is make yourself a little tab so you can actually get this thing back out in the future if you need, because it can be a snug fit. Yeah, I can already feel the heat is completely blocked from coming in that opening. So we'll come back in a few minutes and check on that and see how it's doing. All right, let's take some measurements with the insulation in place. The ceiling temperature, about 78 and 79 degrees. Skylight temperature, we'll call that 83. So 79, 78, 79 versus 83. So about 4 degrees difference between the ambient ceiling temperature and the skylight. So that is a huge improvement. So there you go. A very simple, inexpensive project that you can do to help beat the heat. Hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and hopefully sometime soon, we'll see you on the road.